All right, everyone, we are back with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Joel, your chief host of the show, and joining me is, of course, our graduated co-host Noble.
Yay, I got upgraded.
Now, ever since last week, and all of a sudden, and you're like, nah, here's a promotion. Take on these extra duties with not so much extra pay.
Pretty much.
I still got to get used to it though. Like handing promotions out and stuff. That's gonna be
The
fun.
joys of management.
Hey, well, been doing this quite a while now, so hey, yeah. Oh well. Joining us on the panel today, we have Beowulf.
Jack of all trades, master of absolutely nothing. At your service.
And it's always great to have you back on again.
Always good to be here once in a while.
Always. And joining us on the panel also, we have Azzy.
What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's having a great day.
Mm-hmm. It ain't too bad here. At least it's better than yesterday, where yesterday was friggin' boiling. Ugh.
Speak for yourself. I got shit. Yesterday was cold as a motherfucker. Like even today, with the whole wind being like the whole wind just flowing and just like blowing. The wind. Seriously, the wind blows and the fucking. It almost makes my ears bleed because that's literally how bad the weather is now.
Let me tell I've done an American Winter once in my life, and hope I never have to have the misfortune of having something that crazy. I believe it though. But shit, you guys in your winters, man.
Well, yeah, I live in America, the northern part of America. Let's just say that.
True. All right. So first things first, to start on the stuff of the week, we have the biggest FurCon ever, Midwest Fur Fest 2024, and Beowulf, you were there, and it was like the time of your life.
Oh, I wouldn't say time of my life, and I think we did not take the title back at MFF.
Oh, like biggest con ever, 2024.
No, I believe that the Anthrocon still retains that. Because they had 17,000 people and we had 16,900.
Oh, that's shocking. You had the crown for a little bit and now it's gone. What the heck happened?
They trade it back and forth. It's fine. I don't know. To me, it was fun being there. Had a lot of fun going to panels, going to, the dance comps, floor wars, stuff like that. But I don't know. There was just something about the vibe that wasn't there this year. It wasn't like the usual, like, happy FurCon vibe. It was just kind of like everyone's just there. It was kind of weird.
Right, because it's just like, oh, we're having the first. Oh, I think I may know why everybody's gone a bit soured. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this, but could a certain orange person have something to do about it?
But yeah, that probably was a lot of it. Not gonna lie, that probably actually was a large percentage of it. Not everyone's like, oh no, and they decided, I think on Twitter, it was a couple months before MFF was even going to be was finalized. I saw one of the dealers was like, we're not going there because Trump got elected. I'm like,
right. Okay. I heard somebody say, we're not going there because Trump is gonna, muscle in with Canada, and impose all these tariffs and all that.
Yeah,
and block us out.
That was like, okay, bye. Don't need you.
Well, okay, we don't need your business here. Sell it up in Leafland, see how well you do.
There was one group there, or one of the dealers that I regret not buying one of their things, because after I saw how they looked on someone, I wanted it immediately, and it was like a little 3D printed thing that basically spaced out your badges when you hold them. So, like, It was just a little something that you put on a lanyard, but it holds all of your badges apart so that you can see them all.
Oh yeah, not just the
Furries
con
are
badge,
smart.
but oh, oh
I
yeah, oh
know.
yeah.
MFF was, like I said, it was vibe was off. It was fun, but it had its usual problems.
I mean, of course, that's definitely the usual stuff like LineCon because they have logistics for 16,000 is a serious business.
Well, here's the thing. They every year they've started doing statistics at closing ceremonies.
Mm-hmm.
And at their peak, they were doing 1,900 people an hour in registration.
What the fuck?
And the longest average wait, or the average wait that people had, was 38 minutes in registration.
Ooh.
Which, when you think about it, is insane for how big that line is. If you think on average, 38 minutes to go, a couple thousand people, you're actually moving really well. Like they have registration down pat, in my opinion. Like there's some kinks that still need worked out because the con store and stuff. They need more people working that at the same time because the con store line was awful. But you basically go to the con store and you get 2 items if you're a shiny sponsor or you want to buy a polo shirt.
Oh yeah. Completely believe it.
They changed the location of Artist Alley, and it still needs a little work, but there's a lot more room in there now. Because basically it takes a big line and it funnels it down into a little tiny area because they let you in through like 4 doors, and then it's like, oh yeah, you're 3 people wide, and everyone wants to stop at the first artist, so you just get a pile up.
Oh yeah, those things are just not efficient at all.
Yeah, the furries, they want to stop
Yeah,
at every.
they want to crowd around as like a really popular artist and then say, "Oh, what you making?"
And like there was 2 or 3 big artists.
Oh, even
Frick.
worse.
We're not going anywhere.
Oh yeah, no, you can forget about that.
Saw drunk people passed out in the hallways.
Was there pizza?
I was not in a hotel that had a pizza incident, I don't believe.
Uh-oh.
I
Sorry.
heard rumors that there were more than one attempt of that happening this year. I did not hear of anything anything actually come of it.
Right, they'd have to at least have. I mean, for maximum points and effect, and to make furry a laughing stock, they'd have to do that in the main lobby.
Yeah, I mean, well, and you can't do that in the main lobby because there's too many freaking people in the Hyatt. Like,
right, or even like the main floor of the convention center at the Donald E. Stevens.
yeah, if you're down where Reg is, yeah, you're not going to be able to do that without, well, A, the security, and B, the police shutting you down.
Right.
Because
Well, then...
there's actually a lot of security present. Like, there's actual Rosemont PD and stuff were helping the convention, which is different, but it's also good to see. There's that the convention is like, hey, we know we can't handle this, so we're getting the real people involved.
Oh yeah.
Someone pulled the fire alarm at a hotel, not my hotel.
They always seem it's not a FurCon unless the fire alarm has gone off at some point.
I did notice that the amount of ambulances was substantially lower than previous years.
Yeah.
It's kind of
did
obvious
hear-
to say, if furries clean up their act or not, but hey.
No, they're not cleaning up their act, but it's that I think they're managing themselves better.
Hmm.
I did hear that happening. When they when one of them pulled the fire drill or something like that? Like, are they just doing it as a prank or some shit, or are they just doing it just
They were
jackasses?
either on drugs or they were drunk. That's kind of what it boils down to, and it's like you're not going to get away with it. You're going
Oh
to
yeah,
get charged. You're going to get arrested because it's a felony to do that. And it's like you pull a fire alarm. People don't know this, but there's dye. There's dye inside fire alarms that will paint your hand when you pull it.
exactly. And plus it's like something that that stupid high schoolers would do like back in high school and shit. Like,
Well, I mean, that's what furcons are. Frickin' everybody resorts to high school mentality, it seems like.
Hmm.
At least
yeah, and
it wasn't a main hotel and it wasn't a con block hotel. It was a secondary hotel that isn't in the block anymore because they can earn more money not being in the block.
now that I think about it, furcons and high school, damn.
Are
There's a
basically
lot.
the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, like gossips and
Clicks and everything
bull,
else. Yeah,
click
clicks are
bullying,
everywhere. Like that's my
click.
biggest beef.
Right.
Going to furcons, it's like you're going to places and you're hanging out with 5 people for the whole weekend. It's like why? Why are you traveling to a convention spending
I think because everybody
hundreds,
wants to
if
be
not
shot in their own
thousands of
little friend
dollars
group and stuff.
to do
But
this?
I mean, considering like there's correlation between that and the amount of attendees that are in the whole space.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, that's true.
apart from that, though, couple of incidents. Though, how about the other problem spot that everyone seems to have, like the Sky Bridge?
There was one part that I promise you, 150% they left the heat on maximum. There was about a 30-yard section that I don't think it went below 100 degrees the entire weekend.
So it's like, oh, it's nice and whatever here, and it's like, oh, what? Why is it so hot all of a sudden?
No, it was kind of hot throughout the whole convention space because, and I talked to multiple other suitors and many other people, and it was warm enough for people not in costume to not need heavy clothing
Yeah,
because it was, I thought, in my opinion, it was like 80, which
okay.
if you're a suitor, you die. But then there was other people who were like, oh, it gets really cool in the rooms after, there's nobody in it. And it's like, when was there nobody in these rooms?
Yeah,
To me, the whole convention space was hot, like
Like for fursuiter
ridiculously hot.
standards, anything like literally, you'd say like anything above 70 something degrees is hot for like fursuiter standards.
Yeah, but and I mean, I promise you, it was above 70 degrees because I was partialing and sweating my butt off on Saturday,
Mm.
and I was like, this is ridiculous.
yeah, like crack the heat down, will ya? Shit.
It was really nice though because you could walk outside and it was 19 degrees outside.
Yeah, that's actually perfectly good, blessed fursuiting weather.
Yeah, that's where all the fursuiters were like 80% of the day. We're just standing in front of the hotel doors. It's like, nope,
And
we're not
just,
going back
yeah.
inside. It's too hot in there.
Precisely. There's only so much space for the whole thing on convention center to accommodate, and even so.
Yeah, but like, do you really have to have the heat on that high? I know you're trying to make it an even space so everyone is comfortable, but you're also dealing with people who wear couches
Yeah.
for fun. Like you can turn on the heat for the people who wear nothing late at night, like, because that
Yeah, like,
also was very commonplace. I saw a lot of bare skin that I didn't want to see at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh
yeah.
shit.
Probably up in the hotel rooms or something.
No, this was in the walkways.
Oh.
and
sounds,
I very confused
sounds like
jackal noises.
Like it's either like weird suitors poodling or God
Like,
forbid
don't get me
something
wrong,
worse.
I 100% poodled. I'm talking no clothes above the waists with harness gear at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah. No, I was about to say there's something worse part.
And I was very confused as to like how that's allowed, but I guess
Because it's like
convention staff weren't
right, for a
up
con like
yet.
that, like at that hour, yeah, no.
Yeah, there was a lot more of that than I thought there would be. But you do you. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna be a big dumb jackal.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And plus, being naked in fucking like in fucking lobbies and hotels is very common at the MFF. So it's like,
Yeah,
it's
it was
not
pretty
really a
common.
surprise.
It is getting better. They are working on not having as much stuff crammed into the Hyatt, as there was a lot of stuff and a lot of bigger events got moved into the convention center, which helped alleviate some of the traffic.
That's
Like
good, though.
you have your like if you have like the giant panel rooms, if you want like a giant panel room, all that stuff was over in the
Yeah, to
convention
host like
center.
the opening, the ceremonies.
Opening ceremonies was still in the ballroom at the Hyatt, so that
Yeah,
like your big main stage events are
yeah, and
still
that's gonna
there.
be cramped as all heck.
Yeah, opening ceremonies, closing ceremonies, floor wars, and dance comp. I'm pretty sure there were more than 1,000 people in that room.
Were there any Peter supporters?
Not that I was aware of.
No,
Oh,
nor were
good. So
there
no
any
protesting
other.
this time.
I mean,
Nor
there
were
was
there
a
any
lot
other
of
like.
people eating tasty animals because there was very good food for the sponsor brunch and the shiny sponsor meal.
Oh yeah, because you have all the good stuff over there.
Yeah, there was lots of good food was eaten.
That's good. By the way, I want to move on to the next thing with MFF. Like we've had a fair share of interesting characters show up again at a FurCon.
Oh yeah. There was some interesting people at MFF. I
Yeah.
heard.
Let me start with this dude right here. Somebody who went off, did a control thing, and
Oh yeah,
yeah,
like these people
Oh shit!
literally stood in the same spot for like 3 days, and they're
literally
actually
wearing
really
a
cool
friggin'
people.
yeah.
Like they were completely chill with me talking to them.
Yeah, and look at this. Like this man's is wearing a helmet and a red tracksuit with all red.
Yeah, he also had there's another guy in green armor that was occasionally there too. But I mean,
Yeah,
like
and then like, dude, the reaction to him though, like
yeah,
sticking your
people were
finger up at him.
violent. Like people threw paint and shakes and spit on them and all sorts of stuff throughout the weekend. Like
Sounds like
they got assaulted throughout the weekend by people, and they just didn't give a fuck.
Right. The reaction to this is just absolutely bonkersly crazy. It's like
yeah.
all this man's is doing is just standing on the
Literally
little
standing
raised.
there, not even talking to people. He had 3 flags.
Yeah.
That's all he had. And he was just standing there, and people were
Yeah.
assaulting them because
I've seen
of
people
the
do
flag.
this. I've seen people do the same sort of thing in my state, except one, I'm in Australia, and two, the whole LGBTQIM plus sort of community thing, and I'm just like, well, enjoy yourself, and rolled my eyes and kept walking.
Yeah, I mean that's if you don't like them, don't interact with them because then they're not going to come back. That's if you don't like them, don't interact with them. They won't come back because they're doing it for interactions.
That's not the point. The point is that if you throw something at them and it makes contact and a police officer is witnessing, that's basically assault.
Oh yeah, no, it is straight up assault. It's assault here too,
Oh, yeah.
but they aren't going to do anything about it.
Yeah. Not to mention it's all the whole thing because there's another interesting character that we also see, like the famous person in that what's it called? always goes in there dressed as Bon Voyage. I think, yeah.
Oh
that's from
God,
the-
no!
Oh, God.
Bon Voyage. Gotta talk with him. He was pretty cool. I'll be right back though.
Oh, nice.
Seriously though,
Yeah,
why?
yeah. Like I saw it on the. When I was like scrolling through it, like it arrived on my feed on Twitter, and I was like, damn. This guy, right? And people were just doing the whole usual same old reactions again, sticking their finger up and all that stuff. This guy again, and all that. Oh
It's
man,
crazy.
I didn't like. I swear it's these two people that have made it their life's mission to troll every single FurCon with their mere presence and just standing there menacingly.
Wasn't that guy with the flags at FFA or something? Because he looks familiar.
I think he probably might have been doing that, like only because of like political beliefs. He rolled up in transgender colors, like
Oh
you know.
no!
I mean,
Oh,
if
God.
FFA is largely considered like a right-leaning con, then of course you're going to dress as a lefty to piss them off. Same still, like if you go to normal FurCon because their furries are overwhelmingly left-leaning, you dress up in like, patriotic or even Trump colors, and then like you watch the rage fly.
Oh my God.
Come on, it's trolling 101. Simple as that.
Yeah, and it's amazing how these people just they claim to be all like equality and all that shit, but yet they're the ones, but yet they're doing all this shit. It's like, yeah, that's equality, all right. And
I'm going to be a
oh
little
yeah,
bit more specific with this, but I've seen people in the Alphabet Soup Mafia outright threaten to kill people
I know.
just because.
Yeah,
Or assault.
I mean,
Assault was fun.
And yet
it's
they're-
something they're doing more. But that aside, like in con space, yeah, probably. Now onto that same item though. Wolf, I want to ask you: is everything okay? Did nothing bad or hostile happen to you? Because apparently somebody made a big stink about your presence at MFF.
Yeah, nothing hostile happened to me, and it's funny to me that when you think about people online will speak a giant game about how big and bad they are, but people in person are like the most cordial people. I have no problem wearing my badges anywhere and everywhere, and I've done it all the time. I take photos, let people take photos if they ask, whatever. I don't really care. But people online are like, "Oh no, this person's here," and I'm like, "Okay, you know what I look like. I'm at the convention. I have no problem
But the
doing
question
it."
is, what have you done? Who have you gone up and punched in the face? Who have you assaulted? When have you turned around and, well, let's just say, did a number 2 in the hallway
Never.
or in the elevator?
I've merely existed, therefore I am an enemy.
Right, and then now it shows you existing on the background with only just your ears in color of shot, while somebody with a group of other fursuiters hanging around and what I could describe as a blue version of Mr. The Weeknd.
Yeah, and then people get upset, and it's like, okay, I literally did this. I have no problem admitting who I hang out with online. I make no qualms of who I hang out with. It's like,
right.
You hang out with big bad people, big bad name people, and it's like, if you really think they're so bad, then based on how you were qualifying them as bad, other people are also bad. But no, generalization statements only go against the people that I don't want them to be here.
Right, and apparently we've been accused of giving a certain group of furries a bad name.
Yeah, that I don't. Whatever.
No, because we have no bingo, no real political alignment. That's simple
Who
as that.
has the bingo card? Cause we're gonna get it tonight.
I had a person living in a group of units with me, and she would always make a ruckus, would always be screaming and shouting, would follow me, would physically hit me. Police didn't give a shit though. But I was the problem. literally because I was living there. Nothing else. Well, technically it was because she didn't like people living in the unit above her, but that's just the case. And it's the same sort of thing here.
I mean,
This
I
is
can
isn't
live
this what
rent-free in
bigotry
your
is
bed.
straight off? There's no reason. You haven't doing absolutely nothing to get this sort of reaction out of people. It's just showing how desperate they are
Well,
for attention.
It's because there's some sort of media. There's no media cycle. Therefore, we must find our own media. And it's like, who can we make the bad guy so we can be our professional victim today? It's
Why not do better shit?
because being a professional victim is more fun, I guess. I don't know. I'm just like, okay, you can go ahead and be your big bad person, but I'm not gonna lie. You start screwing with me in real life.
Yeah, things will get up there
I'm
serious.
not opposed to holding my ground.
Right.
Now, just to round out this whole segment with Midwest Surfest, though, overall, like, despite all that stuff that went through and the whole like vibe was off, yeah, would you reckon you'd still still go there another year?
I've gone back and forth already 2 or 3 times if I'm gonna go back. I do greatly enjoy MFF,
Mm-hmm.
but the 25-year con chair, I think he's con chair, retire or stepped down this year, and they had some lady step up to become the con chair. And like her first year's GOH or her GOH announcements, all of them had I don't know if they were required to have, but had some LGBT stance that they were announced with, and I'm like, I don't come to a FurCon to
Right.
deal with all the LGBT stuff. I mean, I'm fine if you're a part of that. I'm fine if you do whatever with that, but that's not why I come to a FurCon. I don't care if you're Joe Schmo off the street or whatever, some artist or whatever. It's like, I'm here to be a big stupid animal and dress up in carpets and attempt to dance. I don't care about
Mm-hmm.
what pronouns and political stances you have.
Right, and in that case, they may set up a device.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, the post-COVID FurCon boom is still happening. Like, FurCons are still exploding in size all over the world.
Oh yeah.
But it wouldn't shock me if MFF plateaued next year just because they pushed this kind of I don't want to say political.
Like they basically like went too on the nose on the politicking that it basically caused like a dividing thing. Like,
in my opinion, yeah. In my opinion, they went really hard on it this year.
Yeah.
And like I saw what happened to Denver, and because Denver did the same thing, went super hard into political activism, and they're nosediving right now.
Yeah. Completely.
I don't want to see conventions do that, but at the same time, you're in a very politically heated climate right now, so it might be in favor, it might go against.
Yeah, if anything else, we'll just wait and see what happens like going for next year.
I don't know. I have a couple FurCons on my radar that I'm looking at going to.
I won't have you say what they are though, but yeah, it's all good.
Potentially MFF.
Potentially others. Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Coming to a FurCon.
See how the year plays out. All right. Now, let's move on to the next item that we've got on the show. Before we get to the big whole awarding ceremony, we've got this for you. An AI company that made robots for children went bust, and now the robots are dying.
The fuck?
I read through this article. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not making this the Beowulf hour, but I read through this article, and basically, it's what parents did in like the 90s, where they're like, "Hey kid, here's a PlayStation 2. Go play games. Leave me alone." They bought a robot, So their potentially, autistic kid or on spectrum kid could make a friend with a computer, and now they're reaping what they sowed.
Right.
Yeah, look, just so anyone knows who's watching this, that's a very bad idea because you're disconnecting a child from actual human interaction. And let's just say there's a particular individual in the internet community who's a bit, yeah.
Well, it's even worse than that because they're using AI, which AI, if you give it enough of a certain type of feedback, it will go into a loop. So these kids who don't know any better will be stuck in a loop of basically talking to something that is going to be looping back on them. So they're never actually going to be able to grow in any sort mentally from this. And to me, AI is very dangerous in that sense.
Mm.
But it's good to see there was something there, but it's also very scary seeing how widespread it was.
So, how bad was this specific
Right.
event?
That's this whole thing. Like, well, now that
The
the embodied
robots,
the
their
maker,
robots are basically turning off, and the kids, they're having to break that emotional attachment they had with their robot.
right?
Which
Because
for a
essentially,
kid
like,
who doesn't understand emotions is bad.
yeah, because as it was saying on the subhead, on the tagline, embodied the maker of the AI robot is closing down, and then now with their closing, parents have to explain to their kids that the robot Moxie is dead. Because the whole infrastructure, the company goes down, the whole thing goes down, and because of the using AI, the cloud system goes down, and all that, and what happens? The toy robots they stop functioning.
Maybe they should just connect it up to like ChatGPT or Google Gemini.
Well, I mean, if you want to kit bash your robot, I'm sure there will be someone who, once this company is out of business, people are going to start doing stuff like that.
Right.
Oh hell
Now,
yeah!
now to assess the impact of how bad it is, though, the robot itself costs $799, well, US most likely, and yeah, it seems to it's stopped functioning.
Straight out of a
What?
Pixar movie.
Yeah,
Oh, they can't even use Disney.
look at the face. Look at the face. Look at the face.
Yeah, it gives super strong Disney vibes.
Right, because it's got
It gives me
Boombox.
it gives
Sorry.
me vibes of Astro Boy.
or get him a Chucky doll.
Yeah, be like, "Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'll be your friend to the end. Howdy ho."
Just keep the knife away from him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
And
for real, the face does kind of give me a little bit of the Astro Boy kind of vibes. If you know that cartoon, Astro Boy.
Familiar with it?
Yeah, it's about this robot, kid and all that. It's an anime.
yeah, so to show you what happened, of course. So what it is though, it's an AI robot. The robot uses these large language models, these LLMs, to answer questions, talk, and function. And with the company closing down, the whole cloud server goes down, and the robots might just stop working because they'll have no access to the cloud server. And so what you're left with is just basically a thing that'll go on, but you may not respond. Right?
No refunds will be given.
Right.
And if
So
you bought the
that's what they say
device
that
on a
the
payment
closing
plan, it's out of
FAQ.
their hands.
Yeah, like Embodied made it clear that Moxie was like this: stop working within days, no refunds will be given, and if you bought the device on a payment plan, it's out of their hands. Of course,
Yeah, because
if
basically you took a loan with a bank or a
right,
credit
or you
card
use
or
like
whatever.
a post Dingo service like Afterpay or Zip, where you like buy now, pay later. And so
They
no,
really, they really should have turned around and had a monthly charge for this thing.
right, like a
Oh wait,
subscription
was
to
there?
yeah.
Yeah, was
mean,
there
it's
some
a-
sort of subscription?
I don't think so. It's basically a one-time purchase fee. Like it's an item. You buy the thing, you get the robot and all of that, and except they didn't realize in the clause that they had the clause that is subject to subject to
Yeah.
the state of the company
Well,
working.
I might be an old. In
what
regards
I-
to this,
What I read
sorry.
in here, yeah, we were kind of stepping on each other. What I read in here is basically like they were looking for like a government grant to keep going while they were, getting this stuff out. And the government's like, yeah, no, we're not giving you that. So they're like, oh, well, we're in debt, so bye. And just deuced out.
So the biggest thing I find with this is that no one looked into the fact of, hey, what happens when the internet goes out?
Well, that's because we're such a connected society anymore. Nobody knows how to do stuff without the internet.
I have to admit, I've also got to thank this company for teaching children, a strong life lesson.
Things die.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing lasts forever, and you've got these people on TikTok basically having to comfort their kids, saying that Moxie is effectively going to die, and that they have to have this uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah, in before Moxie's freaking LLM or whatever just dies because it's getting all this negative feedback all of a sudden.
Yeah, like, hello, and all that stuff imitates static noises, and yeah, and it's just a shocking thing too. But now, when you really think about it, like with this sort of thing, and what's really happening out there, like with the growth, with really the growth of stuff that's happening in the AI sphere, what do you think? Like, will be seeing more of this sort of stuff happen? Like, are they gonna make like a lot of AI powered toys for children and all that?
Yeah,
Like with
I wouldn't.
robots
Inevitable.
and the like.
I wouldn't be
because-
surprised if they. Sorry.
Nope, go ahead. You were going first.
All right. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to make an AI version of Teddy Ruxpin.
Oh yeah.
Or
they're already using AI to develop video games, so I mean, it's already a thing,
Yes. But
and it's
the
not
thing,
going to go away. It's
No.
going to get better and better and
No,
more refined.
I
and-
get you. They're gonna like run through all these iterations, and AI will learn on the fly.
Well, it
AI is
already
basically doing the whole self-learning thing.
It already does. That's how, there's already stuff that can be done with AI that is honestly amazing and slightly terrifying.
Yeah, but if you really took
Oh,
took Moxie and you basically ran it on a larger scale, like you got you're going to do the whole living the sci-fi dream. Where you basically have a robotic housemaid or like a pet dog that runs on AI, among other things, like a robo.
Yeah,
well,
there is already projects out there that could help. And Joel, I just sent you a link to a YouTube video. Can you bring up the thumbnail to that, please?
Oh, Trigger Me Elmo, world's first race detecting toy.
oh my god.
Get your kids this. Look, it's Elmo, and he'll say something pretty shocking.
Oh my god. The Tickle Me Oh, that. Are you talking about that thing that happened when one of those Tickle Me Elmos, and then Elmo says, "Who wants to die?" All that.
No. This one, someone had a bunch of voice recordings done for it, and it's like a wire sticking out of its head. So it's just an Elmo doll that's been gutted, and then animatronics have been shoved into it. No,
For a
it is
second, I thought-
completely nuts. But see,
For a
something
second,
like that could happen with this. You probably wouldn't have to gut it, but you'd have to use some sort of DNS redirection, and hopefully it is able to at least do majority of the work of turning speech into text on your device. Because if it does that, and all you have to do is just feed it text to say, well, you can have fun. But it's really going to depend on what how it was developed.
You know, there's I kind of realize this now, like when you really look at robots and the whole thing, and if you kind of break it all down, and if you break it all down to the anatomy components of it, why the heck do people still think that using the cloud is such a great solution and even the onboard memory, if at that, if with all the limitations that onboard memory seems to have, like onboard files, like stuffing a little hard drive on the on the
Not even
robot.
that. You can get memory sticks now that are. I've got a shit ton that are 128 gigs. I got them a couple of years ago. You can get 256. You can get 512. I've seen, but they're quite rare. You can get 1 terabyte drives. To run an AI server, you need like a CPU from the last like 5 years, and maybe like what 32, 64 gigabytes of storage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would be expensive, but for the price of that robot, you could definitely have something you can clunk out. I mean, shit, look at Apple computers at the moment; they're pretty damn good for AI shit, and they're using a mobile processor.
But even then, like if the future is going to be like this, and we're all going to be like relying on big robo to fund all this stuff, like including interaction, then yeah,
I can watch people eat rocks.
Or bugs.
Oh yeah, gads.
Or bugs must eat Z bugs.
There are cultures around the world where they do actually consume insects, so it's not really a joke.
Actually, no. The joke is, if you haven't been following, is that they're I don't want to be all all like doomsday or conspiracy theory sort of thing, but they're trying to produce mass produce insects for human consumption and replace the whole meat supply.
I'm aware of that part, but it's more that there are some cultures around the world that do consider insects, particular insects, a delicacy.
I mean, I know the Chinese in particular are egregious for it.
And there's actual candy and lollipops that contain actual bugs in it.
I think it's like what no more than a certain amount of milligrams per kilo or something that you can have actual insects in chocolate.
Yeah, because so I'm gonna make everyone frickin' grossed out. Is that you're allowed certain amounts of things in food, thanks FDA. Particularly one that really is disgusting to think about in American food. But as someone who grows crops, I understand it. Is that you're allowed no more than, what is it? I think 2%, like mouse poop in grains. Anything with grain. So I mean, you're talking flour, cereal.
Anyone who's confused about this, it's quite simple. It is near impossible to separate mice from food on a farm.
If they exist, if there is a food source, they will poop on it and pee on it, and that goes into food. But usually it gets baked, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Still nasty regardless.
I didn't say it's not nasty to think about. You don't think about it here. Like, whatever.
If you worked in a kitchen, you'd be losing your stomach half the time.
Oh yeah, no,
anyway.
I've worked it. I've worked. I currently farm, so I know like the growing portion. I've worked in a kitchen. I've worked in fast food. I know how this stuff works. I know what I'm feeding people, and half the time I am like, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
But
Man.
that's what we are. We are a convenience-based people. Anything that makes it more convenient is more better. Like, don't get me wrong, it weirds me out because I don't know how actually clean it is. But there is now a robotic coffee machine in DIA Concourse C.
Jesus.
Right.
It was
All that stuff
perfectly
like
acceptable.
fully
It was
automated
perfectly
coffee.
acceptable coffee. Like, I wanted a latte. I didn't want to interact with people because I just got off a 2-hour flight. I'm like, I just want coffee. Went up, scanned my card, put in my order. It made it right in front of me, and the little robotic arm moved around to the different stations, and it put stuff in and dispensed it right in the thing in front of me. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah, like I've seen cruise ships do have robotic bartenders as well.
Yeah, because guess what? They're going to do everything exactly portioned that they're programmed to do.
It's like something. It's like something out of the Jetsons.
Yeah, we're not
Literally.
quite that far, but we're getting there. And like the technology aspect of that is great. It intrigues me because that means I don't have to deal with people to get a drink or to get a coffee. But on the other hand, I'm like, what if this is programmed wrong?
Right. And on the other hand, I'm like, going back to the whole Moxie thing, if commercial businesses start buying these AI powered bartenders or baristas and the whole company that supplies the robots goes bust, then the
Yeah,
business goes to
how are they
crap,
going
right?
to get tech support for it? How are they going to get how's their stuff going to get fixed? Or are they going to
Simple.
have to take
They
that in house, or find another business that's going to hack into those equipments and take them over?
they just get AI to do it all.
Yeah, we get to that point. That's when things get really scary, and I want to nope out, please.
I mean, yeah, we're living in the AI, in the weird AI timeline right now.
In before frickin' Skynet.
The AI will take over.
Everyone's like, oh no, that'll never happen. Guess what's happening right now?
Yep.
You're letting it happen.
All right.
Just don't let AI turn her on. What? Sorry. Don't let AI like go against us in some way, shape, or form because that. Good boy, that would be scary.
All right. So we've got another item to come through, and it's time to hand out awards. Well, I'm talking about the Game Awards. So before we just dive into all the stuff that's new releases and all that, I want to ask you guys, what is your game of the year? Your absolutest best favorite game of 2024?
Mine didn't even make it to the Game Awards because the Game Awards is utterly rigged, and the thing that won it
Right.
was something I had never even heard of. Because guess what? It was a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I heard about all that stuff, the whole kerfuffle about the whole, about being so selective and picky and cutting games off out of spite. But
Oh yeah,
I want,
it's dumb, and it's like
yeah,
I don't care to.
no, I don't agree with the whole how they handle the two. But I wanted to ask you on a personal level, what your personal game of the year of 2024 is.
Is it one that I've had to have played, or one that I wanted to play that I think deserved Game of the Year?
Well, it's like as I said, it's just me asking you on a personal level. Like, your game of 2024. It just has to have come out in 2024, is all.
If it came out in 2024, I'd have to say Frostpunk 2, because Frostpunk 2 is one that I really want to play it, and from what I've watched people read it, it definitely lives on in that same vein as Frostpunk did.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Nothing wrong with that. It's a nice choice.
I'd have to say Concord just because of all the drama. That and or Dustborn.
I see you're a man with refined taste. I see. I see. What is it? What is it that appeals to you about this game, other than the whole, the whole bluster feeder and popcorn?
Yeah, it was more the drama. I'm not much of a gamer.
He likes
Hmm.
them sticky dramas.
No. I thought he'd be interested in the whole. What was the tagline in the song in the first few minutes of Dustborn?
Absolutely no idea. I just drowned myself out when I saw that. Good thing I got more bleach today.
Never
Now,
actually really liked it.
Now,
But
me
yeah,
personally, if I had to change, if I have to say what my game of the year would be, it would have to be Elden Ring.
oh yeah. Was it Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, or was it just Elden Ring?
Just Elden Ring.
Oh yeah, because I know there's a whole kerfuffle about it being a DLC, like being, if a DLC were to win the Game Awards, it would just whatever. But it caused an uproar, but that's not what we're here to ask about. But yeah, can't go wrong with Elden Ring.
Oh yeah.
Can't remember how old I was, but I think that was, yeah. But for a game, but because Elden Ring isn't a game that was made in 2024, then yeah, doesn't really count though.
Oh
So what
yeah,
would that?
dude. I don't know what kind of good games that are in 2024 other than some older ones back in the day, but that's pretty much it.
I will say this: if a lot of the games that I have currently wishlisted do manage to get their release dates next year is going to be the year of RTS, like 100%. There are so many RTSs coming out next year.
Oh, and I thought a real-time strategy was dead and dead and
Oh yeah,
buried in the
like
2010s.
it took 4 or 5 years off, but there's so many RTS titles coming out next year.
Well, the problem was Fortnite was so successful that every company had to produce their own version of it.
Yeah, and everyone was doing the battle royale first-person shooter BS, and now everyone's going back into
Doing their own shit because chasing trends only works so well.
and it only works for so long, and
Right.
that's
Indeed.
kind of extinguished, and now they're like, all right, everyone's going back to their own thing. There's all these genres are coming back that kind of disappeared for a few years.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me make this easy for you. You have what is my game of the year?
We don't know, Jolt. You have to tell us what your game of the year is.
There's only 2 candidates that are eligible for this though, and there are only 2 boxes that they must both tick.
Oh.
Okay. Box number 1, does it have squirrels in the game?
Okay, so
2,
it has to have squirrels.
And the second box, can said squirrel wield a gun?
Oh, squirrel! Squirrel with the gun.
Power World.
Well, you got both of the candidates right now. Tick both of the boxes.
Yeah. I mean, Mimi games are a thing. Both of those were very.
But come on, it's friggin' Power World. It just basically burst onto the scene.
Oh yeah, it's straight up. It's
January.
straight up is great. Like, don't get me wrong, I really like Pal World, but it's so similar to Ark that to me, I just couldn't get past similarities to Ark, and I'm like, this isn't really what I signed up for.
I signed for a game where I could capture and enslave Pokemon and subjugate them.
Yeah, really. So did I. But it's to me, I couldn't get past. There is a gameplay loop. The gameplay loop stays the same no matter what level you're fighting at, and it gets stale really quick. Granted, that's also my strategy simulation brain working against me there. It's like I need need more of a gameplay loop than X plus X is Y. X plus X is Y.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, they did give us some sort of thing to aim for, but even then, it's it's just.
Yeah, you just have to do the gameplay loop to get there.
Mm. But overall, though, I'm still. If I had to choose between those two games for Game of the Year, I'd have to pick Power World.
Yeah. I mean, if Pal World was something that actually had a chance, I definitely would have gone there. But
Does it?
Game Awards are rigged.
Oh yeah.
It's literally whoever pays the most gets the freaking title.
But then again, Squirrel with a Gun. I enjoyed living the fever dream out of that one.
Yeah, I don't blame you, Joel. I know you'd like to have several guns as your squirrel self and get to wreak havoc.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should make a mod of your Sona
Turn
and
to squirrel.
Power.
Yeah,
And
and just
Power
paint
World
it
purple.
a purple skin. I think the purple skin is all I ask for, and that will just make me oh god.
We just gave Jolt a fever dream.
Oh yeah.
Is that right?
Apart from that, though, well, apart from all that stuff with the whole our games of the year, there's some new stuff that has come out that they're planning to come out with as a after they made their showing at the Game Awards. Like, come on, back to Power World, they're announcing a new free update that's going to come out just before Christmas this year.
I didn't actually watch the Game Awards because I knew it was going to be
No,
rigged.
me neither.
So.
No, I just went there for the new releases, really.
There's probably all kinds of fancy stuff. They always announce fancy stuff at Game Awards because they have everybody's attention.
Right. I mean, there's a whole other stuff that you could say, like they've got big games like The Witcher 4 coming out. They've really got all sorts there. So, who knows how 2025 is going to shape up for in gaming.
It's going to be wild. That's all I know. Every year is going to be wild because that's how it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I completely agree with you.
Still kind of curious to how GTA 6 is going to be.
I heard it's going to be a bit less, they're going to be a bit less like less of the whole pull no punches sort of thing.
Yeah. As far as I heard, when they want to introduce pronouns in the game, I'll be like, yeah, you're just fucking up the whole essence of GTA.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah. Beyond that, though, let's wait and see how it all goes. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just want, and you know what I've been seeing as well. Like, I'm going for 2025, just a big smattering of furry games. It's insane.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of furry games coming out too, and it's like, where'd these come from?
Right. Like, why is it all so popular now? Like, why,
Why
Well,
are
this
you
wasn't
mainstream now?
Oh no, we can't go back into the proverbial furry closet where it's all,
Mash the buttons.
That's,
well,
I mean that is something that lots of furries like to do. I mean,
Yeah.
they gotta have the color combo button mash.
Well, blame Zootopia for bringing furry into the mainstream.
Zootopia.
Wait, why is
bad
Zootopia?
guys.
What about the Robin Hood in like 1994?
I mean,
That's what my entire
think-
furry childhood was VHS frickin' Disney Robin Hood.
Rah. And then my entire what got me into furry was novels.
And also Sly Cooper, because Carmelita Fox is hot
yeah.
as crap.
But I guess you're right though. In recent times, of course, we've had things like Zootopia. We've had things like The Bad Guys. Had other auxiliary movies like Rock Dog and Sing and all of that.
And-
So
and blame the Death Wolf from Puss in Boots. Oh my god.
Lupo.
Oh yeah, that was a kicker.
yeah, of course, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Oh yeah, how could you forget that?
Yeah, that guy got so much art so fast.
Oh yeah, like with this. But then one day when they saw the trailer, they'd be like, "Oh, let me make art of this super hot wolf." And
Literally
then
day one trailer. The site that shall not be named, 360 posts. Oh no.
oh my god, I know what you're talking about, and yeah,
Well, in the interest of timing and making because Noble's got places to be, I'd say that's
Oh,
all we've got for the week. And well, it's been quite an interesting ride. So I'm glad
Other
you
than
really did
conventions?
have
Other
a number
than
on
Slow News
MFF.
Week?
So
Yeah.
yeah, who'd like to make just a quick closing statement, just as a before we wrap things up officially?
Jekyll of all trades coming to a convention near you.
Got conventions listed up in 2025. Keep your eyes peeled. I'm gonna make
Yes.
an impact.
Oh, Jolty's coming back.
Oh, you know it though. After the friggin' after being all Mexican down and rocking a poncho and saying like "Hola, senor" a lot of times. Oh, I'm ready to be back in 2025. So, yeah. Azzy,
uh,
a quick closing statement.
oh yeah.
Uh,
Now the con. Now what's going on at the MFF and shit? From what Beowulf has been talking about, it did not surprise me one bit about MFF because it's always going to be always going to be the same, drunk furry, drunk parties, the other parties, you know what I mean, and people pass that out on the con floors and all that, but yeah, that's like yeah, that's MFF for you. That's MFF for you guys. But now the robot thing, it's getting a little creepy, but at the same time, like you can't separate some of the stuff from the kid because there's no way that they're gonna have like any interactions or anything because you know it's just the way it is. Now with now with the the game awards and all that stuff, I don't know. Well, like I said before, I didn't know what to pick like from 2024 games because I didn't think anything from 2024 is necessarily any good
I'm
in those
shocked. There were games like that got snubbed, like friggin' Black Myth Wukong and Stellar Blade, and you didn't think about those two?
Well, Wukong, to be fair, dropped off the face of the earth after it made all the news for like a couple weeks. It was just like, oh, yep, everybody played it. They're done.
Oh yeah, I've read about that too, and I don't know. I'm more of an old game kind of guy, but Elden Ring was one of the only recent games that I pretty much enjoyed playing. But other than that, it's just I'm more of an old game, like old Call of Duty, GTA kind of guy. So
Mhm. All right. And Noble.
Well, the whole Furrycon was always fun. I mean, we had two this time to talk about, and I just kind of wish something more degenerate happened other than what we saw. But then again, we can't always have people playing toilet jokes in Furcons. Preferably, it would never happen again. But well, you know, people. I love the
suck.
I love the whole AI bullshit stuff, and this just goes to show about careful where you put your money.
yeah,
As for the whole
especially
gaming award thing, I mean, it sounds just like Hollywood.
True.
I wonder how many iPads were given out for that bloody thing anyway. Well, the gaming
True.
awards.
yeah, and yeah, like $700, $744 for a little robot. Back to what you were talking about, with the yeah, that's just that. I mean, I get it because the tech, but still, that's very much just for one little robot to give to a child.
People give their kids like $1,000 plus iPhones, like $2,000 plus iPads, please.
Yeah, that beats it. Yeah, that beats it.
You know, if you're asking about how much wanting more degenerate stuff at Furcons, though, I'd give it time. Also, if you're in the US, I bet you they'll probably be a bit more scared now because they're going to be scared that their precious porn is going to be running out of supply because of the whole Project 2025 thing. So they're going to be like, get your porn while you can at the Furcons.
Yeah,
Fire sale.
yeah, if that even exists. No.
All
Yeah,
right.
knowing furries, they just jack up the price anyways. But
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Get it now before Project 2025 shuts it all down. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
like
what about
get
your
it
thoughts,
now.
Jolt?
Sorry.
Oh, me. What do I have to say? I mean, honestly, all I did was was just fun. I mean, come on, you kind of knew I had going into this. We had to go through the story of MFF, and you know what? And boy, what a story it was. I'm just glad, I'm just glad we got people go that always have find the time to go to cons and just have a blast. Tell it like it is.
Attempt to, at least.
Well, that's the thing. Attempt to and at least attempt to get your money's worth out of said con. I do the same too if I wasn't exiled from my local community's cons. Not
Yeah,
that it matters.
you just got to make the big money trips.
Yes. Not that shouldn't be a problem for me, all things considered. Not to brag, but hey. Anyway, that's pretty much what we've got for the week. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this as much as we did going through the stories. Now, as always, our episodes are available on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Floto.fm, iHeartRadio, BitChute, and more. That's us for the week. That's all we got. Farewell, and until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.